Hello friends, welcome to Technique. This is Nirmal here and you're watching the detailed camera review of the new smartphone from Xiaomi in India, the Redmi Note 9 Pro Max. The new Note 9 Pro Max comes with a quad camera setup with a 64 megapixel primary camera and also a 32 megapixel selfie camera. So let's dive deep into the camera to see how it performs. In terms of the camera hardware, it sports a quad rear camera with 64 megapixel primary sensor with f1.89 aperture and it has a Samsung's GW1 sensor. You also get an 8 megapixel ultra wide angle lens, a 2 megapixel depth sensor and an upgraded 5 megapixel macro sensor. There is also LED flash included. The front camera is again an upgraded 32 megapixel sensor with f2.2 aperture. So let's find out how the camera performs. First, let's have a look at the video quality. The phone can shoot 4K videos in 30 fps and the quality looks quite good. It is also good in colors and video is crisp with details. But unfortunately, there is no electronic image stabilization on offer for 4K and hence you will have to depend on the 1080p resolution at 30 fps with electronic image stabilization being offered. Here again, the quality is good with good colors and details. The stabilization is also good and you get a decent footage. But the colors do look a bit saturated at times. There is also 1080p at 60 fps which again does not have electronic image stabilization. Another option is to shoot 1080p with movie mode turned on where you get 21:9 aspect ratio for videos. There is also EIS support available for the movie mode. The phone also packs an 8 megapixel ultra wide angle lens and the video quality is quite decent. The sharpness levels are kind of average and colors looks quite okay. But you do get EIS for the 1080p resolution ultra wide angle camera. The phone can also record macro videos in 1080p resolution with 5 megapixel lens and this is probably the best macro lens in this price segment. One of the important features of the Redmi Note 9 Pro Max is that it comes with Pro mode in video recording, which means you can control the ISO, white balance, shutter speed, focusing, which is seldom available even on flagship smartphones. The phone can also record slow motion videos in 960 fps, 240 fps and 120 fps. Now moving on to the photos. The daylight shots taken with the 64 megapixel camera came out quite well. The colors are vivid and the sharpness levels are also impressive. Unlike the Redmi Note 9 Pro, we did not see saturation issues on this phone, especially with the sky colors. Also, the images have a warmer tone which is predominant on most Xiaomi smartphones. There is also good amount of details even when you zoom into the pictures. There is a dedicated 64 megapixel mode which takes images in a higher resolution and the image size is also larger. There is also auto HDR mode available and the dynamic range is good and it resolves shadows pretty well. Now the 8 megapixel ultra wide angle shots came out pretty decent again. While it's not as good as a primary camera, it is still usable. We felt that the contrast seems to be a bit messed up in the ultra wide angle photos. There is also a Pro color mode available in the camera UI which makes photos vivid and the colors pop out. This is basically useful for those social media posts which are richer in color tones. The close-up shots taken with the camera was good and it had good details, great sharpness levels and good color reproduction. The focusing speed is also very good and we did not have any issues here. The phone has an upgraded 5 megapixel macro sensor and this is probably the best macro sensor you will find on a smartphone in this price segment. It has great details and sharpness levels. Moving to the portrait shots, we felt that the portraits are really good. Xiaomi has mastered in getting great portraits out of their Note series and Note 9 Pro Max is no exception. You can get bright looking portraits with excellent edge detection too and the skin tones are good and the sharpness levels are also impressive. The phone also comes with a movie mode in portraits which gives you some excellent looking cinematic portraits. Next, moving on to the low light captures. With f1.8 aperture, the low light photos came out decent with adequate indoor lighting. The details aren't bad and there is a noise reduction in place, but overall clarity was probably above average. There is also night mode on offer, which definitely brings in more details and sharper images. But having reviewed all the Note series from Xiaomi, including the Note 9 Pro, low light performance on the Note 9 Pro Max could have been a tad better, and we expect Xiaomi to work on it. Moving to the selfie camera, the 32 megapixel can shoot some really good selfies with good details, sharpness levels and colors. The dynamic range is also good. The skin tones are good and so is the sharpness levels. We actually turned off the beauty mode since we like selfies without the beauty mode. But since selfies are more of a personal choice, you can judge based on the clarity. The phone also comes with portrait mode for selfies, and here again the edge detection was quite decent but not so accurate. Overall, the selfie experience is good on the Redmi Note 9 Pro Max. Another feature of the Redmi Note 9 Pro Max is that it has slow motion recording even for the selfie camera, which is at 720p resolution and 120 fps.
So this is the selfie video taken with the Redmi Note 9 Pro Max. You can judge yourself how good the clarity of the video is and also the audio output from the front facing camera, which can record video in 1080p resolution.
So summing up, how good is the camera on the Redmi Note 9 Pro Max? The Redmi Note 9 Pro Max with Samsung's GW1 64 megapixel sensor does well in daylight, close-up, macros, portraits, video recording and also selfie camera. There isn't much to complain except for the low light performance, which we feel should have been a tad better. But again, it's quite good for the price segment. So that was a detailed camera review of the Redmi Note 9 Pro Max. Hope you enjoyed watching this video. Do hit that like button and also hit the subscribe button for more videos. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.